Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have just been banned from this year's major royal wedding, and it is a particular humiliation.
Well, let's start with Meghan and Harry because they've been snubbed by their family.
This is a brutal snub. Meghan Markle's head is going to explode. She'll be over. She'll disappear in a puff of smoke.
Inside the Montecito mansion, the door slammed shut. Sources say Meghan went completely silent for hours. Harry has reportedly stopped sleeping properly because what just happened to them isn't just a snub. It feels like a total turning point. June 6th is now a date marked in deep red, and what the royal family is preparing for that day is being described online as a moment that could shut them out for good.
Duke and Duchess of Sussex, because Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, who you might think are just a little bit more toxic at the moment, will be there. And actually, I do think this puts pay to some of the suggestions that there is this type of reconciliation going on between the fake royals and the real royals. Let's just leave King Charles to one side. I think the young royals absolutely have no contact with Harry and Meghan.
This is what exile looks like in modern form. Not a loud public removal, not a formal announcement, just silence, and an invitation that never arrives. June 6th, a small church in a Cotswold village. Peter Phillips marries Harriet Sperling. Second marriage for both of them. And the guest list reads like a full roll call of the senior royals still active in public life. King Charles III, Queen Camilla, Prince William, Catherine, Princess of Wales, Prince Edward, Sophie, Zara Tindall, and Mike Tindall. Even Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie are reportedly included again. Despite years of public scrutiny surrounding past family controversies and ongoing discussions about old scandals connected to relatives. But not Harry, not Meghan, not even a courtesy message. Peter Phillips wasn't just some distant figure. This was the man who physically stood between William and Harry at Prince Philip's funeral.
This is a brutal snub. This is a wild slap in the face. Harry will be devastated. Now, it's not certain that the couple would have attended. We've got that nonsense about their security, which to me is total fake news, considering the couple travel the world, go to lots of other dangerous places without armed cops. But that aside, that's the excuse for them not coming to the UK yet together as a family.
Placed there because tensions between the brothers were already so visible that even standing together became a concern. Peter attended Harry and Meghan's wedding in 2018. Harry attended Peter's first wedding back in 2008. Years of shared family events, holidays, and private gatherings at royal residences. All of it now described by insiders as completely broken off. Hello? Magazine even ran a headline that quickly went viral. Peter and Harry have simply lost touch. Lost touch. As if decades of family history just faded away by accident. But critics say you don't just drift away from family like that. Especially not in a world like this. And that's only the beginning, because what Meghan did next made the situation feel even more intense. While Harry was still processing the wedding exclusion talk, Meghan was in Switzerland for what was meant to be her big solo moment as a serious global voice. No Harry beside her, just her, a global health organization setting, and a speech focused on online safety and digital responsibility. But the appearance quickly turned into a storm of criticism. Reports and online commentary pointed to noticeably thin attendance, with side-by-side comparisons to Catherine's public engagement in Italy the same week, drawing major attention online.
That is absolutely categorical. But this is how People magazine tried to spin it. So they confirmed that Harry won't be part of the wedding to Harriet Sperling. They confirmed this Hello magazine report that he wasn't invited to the nuptials, which will take place very soon, actually. It's a summer wedding on June the 6th, and as I said, this is the big royal wedding of the year. A friend of the couple telling Hello, Peter and Harry haven't spoken for several years and have simply lost touch, so he hasn't been invited.
Italy showed crowded barriers, cameras flashing, and strong public energy. Geneva, by contrast, showed wide open space and quiet surroundings. One widely shared clip even showed a woman in the background of Meghan's speech appearing distracted and uninterested, while Meghan spoke passionately about online harm and responsibility. In another moment that spread online, someone nearby was reportedly simply waiting for transport, barely engaging with the event at all. The stage crowd jokes started circulating quickly, and the conversation only escalated from there. Then things took another turn when Meghan was photographed at a Geneva dinner, appearing in a selfie alongside a Finnish political figure, Ville Rydman, a public figure who has been the subject of controversy and public debate in Finland. Online reactions intensified, with critics questioning the optics of the moment, while supporters pushed back and argued the situation was being overinterpreted. And just like that, what was supposed to be a controlled, serious international appearance turned into another global talking point, filled with competing narratives, controversy, and non-stop online reaction.
The strategy is nuts, but we see right through it. So officially, Meghan shared these unseen wedding photos to celebrate her 8th anniversary with Prince Harry. It was posted on Instagram with a crescent moon, and she said 8 years ago today, with a photo credit to the wonderful Chris Allerton. There was also something coded in the song that she chose to put these pictures to, Paula Abdul's Forever Your Girl.
The post referenced online accusations that included highly offensive racial language and slurs targeting multiple communities, which sparked immediate outrage and intense debate across social media. The image in question, shared publicly by the political figure himself, reportedly showed him smiling alongside Meghan with the caption, "Dinner with Meghan," which instantly triggered a wave of controversy online. Meghan's team reportedly responded quickly, saying she often gets approached for photos at public events and cannot realistically vet every single person requesting a selfie or picture. Still, the backlash spread fast, and some media outlets claim she appeared visibly tense during that period of appearances. Then came a move that nobody around the palace reportedly expected, and according to insiders, something her own communications team allegedly advised against.
To be honest, I think that's a bit more of a threat to Prince Harry, isn't it? It's like, you're not getting away from me. So let's have a look at these. Oh, God. Yes, they were in love once, folks. They were. You know, as Lady Colin Campbell put it, he was whipped at the time. And this was an era where there was true happiness, really, between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. It wasn't to last, of course. And it is quite extraordinary.
Within 24 hours, Meghan posted a major Instagram update featuring never-before-seen wedding images from 2018, marking her 8th anniversary with Harry, paired with a crescent moon symbol and the song Forever Your Girl. The song choice immediately sparked online debate. Royal commentator Angela Levin described the tone as highly provocative, suggesting it felt less like a gentle anniversary message and more like a pointed signal aimed at Harry. She also criticized the overall presentation in extremely harsh terms during televised commentary, arguing the imagery felt overly theatrical and attention-driven. Observers also pointed out the timing, just after Catherine's widely praised public appearance in Italy, and after Meghan's own Switzerland engagement had already become a topic of heavy online discussion. Supporters, however, insisted it was simply a romantic anniversary post, and that critics were reading too much into it.
That to distract from what has been a complete catastrophe for Meghan in Geneva, she has decided to open her photo book to the world. These pictures never before seen from the wedding. We even go inside what was meant to be a private reception where Elton John performed and Harry is seen hugging Meghan's PR friend, a woman who I know called Isabel May. She used to represent the Beckhams.
But the debate escalated further when people noticed how the montage was framed. No senior royal figures were prominently featured, except for a brief background appearance of King Charles III, while Meghan's mother, Doria Ragland, appeared more visibly throughout. Critics argued the selection felt highly curated, while supporters said it simply reflected personal moments from her own archive. Then another post drew even more attention. A photo taken inside a luxury walk-in wardrobe reportedly filled with high-value fashion items, where Meghan was seen posing in an editorial-style setup alongside her young daughter. Online reactions immediately split, with some describing it as a stylized family portrait and others arguing it felt overly staged and symbolic. Commentators like Angela Levin went further, offering a much more critical interpretation, claiming the composition appeared intentionally controlled and overly curated. Though those views remain heavily disputed online, Levin also described the overall messaging as harsh in tone, while supporters strongly rejected those claims and defended the post as a private family moment shared publicly.
But what she didn't realize, Paula, is that she had posted a picture never seen before, which included a very awkward dialogue that Prince Harry was having. This was exposed by, according to Taz, who revealed this was an odd photo to post. Harry looks like he's in a heated exchange with Catherine and Prince William's nanny, Maria. The little children look wary of Harry, so that backs this theory up.
And once again, what was meant to be an anniversary celebration turned into a global debate about timing, optics, and interpretation, with every image dissected frame by frame across social media. And then there's the wardrobe itself. Multiple royal commentators have pointed out that several pieces visible inside the closet appear to closely resemble outfits once worn by Princess Diana. This has sparked a new theory circulating online, that Meghan may be preparing to launch a fashion line inspired by Diana's iconic wardrobe. If that turns out to be true, Prince William would reportedly be absolutely furious. Many observers believe there is almost nothing more sensitive to him than the idea of his late mother's image being repurposed or recreated in a commercial setting. But that wasn't even the most controversial point being discussed. Because in the same week she shared that wardrobe image involving her young daughter, she also stood at a public event and spoke about the dangers of exposing children to social media, describing it in strongly negative terms.
Here you might ask, my friend, had she decided to post these intimate pictures? Oh, that's right. On Mark Zuckerberg's social media network. Yes, the same social media network which she has just been campaigning against in Geneva. The strategy is nuts, but we see right through it. So officially, Meghan shared these unseen wedding photos to celebrate her 8th anniversary.
So critics quickly pointed out the contradiction. Speech, then post, then commercial-style branding activity all in the same time frame. And that is exactly why some royal insiders believe decisions are being made behind the scenes to keep distance from certain events. Because over the past several years, any private royal interaction involving Harry has, according to commentators, eventually appeared in some form of public media, whether in books, documentaries, or interviews. The royal family, as some analysts argue, has become extremely cautious about what enters their private spaces. And that context helps explain why Peter Phillips's wedding guest list has become such a major talking point. Now, picture the setting. A small, private Cotswold ceremony focused on family and tradition with carefully selected guests. Now imagine adding figures who have been surrounded by ongoing media attention, public disputes, and high-profile storytelling projects.
Notwithstanding whether or not they would have gone to the wedding, they've not been invited.
Ouch.
And you can bet your bottom dollar that William and Catherine most certainly were. Now, the wedding's in just a few days' time, and we actually don't know still for sure whether William and Catherine are going, but they're obviously invited. And the reason why this is a brutal snub is because Peter Phillips and Harry have been very, very close for many years, going all the way back to 1997 when Diana passed. And he was sent to Balmoral to be an emotional minder, like a safeguarding figure for the boys. And they've been very close for the entirety of Harry's life. Much loved cousins. Of course, I will tell you that I think that Peter and Zara Phillips are just fantastic people.
Yeah.
And the reason why they're fantastic people is because their mother is Princess Anne, who is probably my favorite member of the royal
She's
family.
also my favorite. Love her. Love her.
She's beautiful. She's elegant. She recycles her clothes even more than you do.
Royal commentators say concerns were raised about how private moments could later become public narratives. And this is not just speculation to many observers. It is based on previous public releases of personal experiences and media projects involving royal connections. That pattern, according to critics, played a role in how decisions were made ahead of the June 6th wedding. The concern was simple. No one wanted the event to become content for future publications or media projects. The bride was not willing to risk the wedding turning into a background reference in future storytelling projects, and the groom was not expected to be part of any unexpected media headlines or surprise announcements that could shift attention away from the ceremony. And reportedly, the final say in parts of the guest selection process came from Princess Anne, someone widely respected within royal circles for her direct approach and preference for privacy and discipline. Princess Anne raised Peter Phillips and Zara Tindall largely outside of traditional royal titles, focusing on a grounded upbringing and private life rather than formal royal roles. Many observers credit that approach with shaping two of the most publicly stable and well-regarded figures connected to the royal family today. According to reports circulating online, both the York family members and the Sussex couple were initially considered during early guest list discussions. However, the Sussex names were reportedly removed early in the process, while the York sisters were ultimately included. Royal commentators have suggested that the final decision was firm, with no further discussion or reconsideration once made. And that is how the guest list for June 6th became yet another symbolic moment in the ongoing divide between private royal tradition and modern media attention.
The friend told Hello magazine that Peter and Harriet's wedding, which will be their second marriage for both of them, is sent to be an intimate occasion with their close friends and immediate family around them in the Cotswolds. It's an area where they grew up, and it is very special to them both. But here's where it gets awkward. All the other royals are going because the Daily Mail reported that King Charles, Queen Camilla, Prince William, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, Prince Edward, Sophie, Zara and Mike Tyndall all will attend.
The matriarch of the working royal family had spoken, and Peter followed that direction. But while one side of the family was quietly closing the door, the financial and media structure surrounding Harry and Meghan was reportedly starting to show strain. Meghan's lifestyle brand, As Ever, has now gone through multiple rebrands in less than 2 years. From the Riviera Orchard phase to the barefoot market aesthetic to a more polished luxury direction, the branding has shifted repeatedly, and critics say it still lacks a clear identity. She recently released a promotional video that immediately sparked online mockery. The footage showed Meghan interacting with flowers, sitting on a kitchen counter, and looking at a jar of jam in a highly stylized way, while wearing what many online commentators estimated to be tens of thousands of dollars worth of luxury jewelry. Diamonds, luxury branding, and homemade style products all mixed into one visual, and the internet quickly reacted to the contrast. Reports also suggested that a trademark attempt linked to the As Ever name faced legal rejection due to an existing company already holding similar rights, complicating potential expansion plans.
And who I'm such a fan of, and she's the hardest working royal, as we know. This woman, this wonderful lady, has the accident with the horse. She's back at work within days. And by the way, it's my understanding she was much more seriously injured from that altercation with the horse than was reported. Why was the injury more serious than we heard? Because she didn't want to make a fuss.
Yeah.
And that's why she's elite level to me. And she raised 2 great kids in Zara and Peter. Good looking royals, which is quite a rare thing.
That's true.
Isn't it? Everything's in the right place.
Yeah.
We've got a bit of facial symmetry for once. Praise the Lord, you look human. So Zara, she's a very pretty girl, isn't she? Without being, too blokey about it.
Yeah,
she's very good looking.
And another detail that spread widely online was Meghan's reported comment about her target audience, described as a young teenager saving allowance money for her products. That claim triggered intense debate about branding direction and audience positioning. Critics argue there is a disconnect between luxury presentation and everyday pricing, while supporters say the brand is still evolving and finding its identity. But beyond branding, another narrative has been forming in the background. Some reports suggest parts of the Hollywood social circle have become more distant. Figures once closely associated with Harry and Meghan, including well-known public personalities and entertainment industry contacts, are now described in commentary as more cautious about public association. Whether fully accurate or exaggerated by online speculation, the perception is that their broader celebrity network has tightened significantly. So the question being asked online is simple: who is still actively aligned with them? From critics' perspective, the list has narrowed considerably to a small circle of long-term friends, creative collaborators, and contracted staff. Meanwhile, the contrasting royal scene in Britain continues moving forward with structured public engagements, formal appearances, and traditional ceremonies. The upcoming June 6 wedding is being described as another moment highlighting that divide.
Can you believe it? Meghan Markle has rebranded yet again. But is it I have a headache chic or modern domestic snobbery? That is the question. While we are on our 4th official rebrand for her brand As Ever, as never it should be called because it is never the same, and As Ever would imply some degree of stability. So let's go through this super cringe video first, shall we? This is just plain rough. Like, on the surface, this is horrible. We're gonna go through it frame by frame. I have rarely seen anyone this self-obsessed. Truly, the squinty, half-open eyes while hesitating before eating a berry, it's not just cringe, it's bizarre. And it's fascinating the profound lack of awareness that Meghan has to post this and think that it will be good marketing or look good or bolster her brand. It simply doesn't. It's pathetically, weirdly self-absorbed to the point of discomfort for the viewer. And honestly, it looks like she has a headache.
Peter Phillips and Harriet Sperling are expected to marry in a small Cotswold church ceremony surrounded by senior royal figures, with images of unity, tradition, and public stability. King Charles III, Queen Camilla, and other senior royals are expected to appear in a composed, public-facing environment, while younger working royals are also anticipated to be present. Observers say the visual contrast between structured royal tradition and the ongoing media narrative around Harry and Meghan has become increasingly noticeable. At the same time, speculation continues online about how events unfolding in Britain may be perceived from abroad, particularly from California, where Harry is often portrayed in commentary as more removed from day-to-day royal life. Some narratives describe him as watching developments from a distance, while Meghan continues focusing on media, branding, and digital storytelling, though these interpretations remain speculative and heavily debated. And as this divide continues to grow in public discussion, commentators increasingly describe it as less of a sudden break and more of a slow, ongoing separation in public perception. Because in the end, nothing dramatic is happening all at once. It is a gradual shift where distance becomes normal and connection becomes increasingly symbolic rather than real. And that is why many observers believe June 6th is not just a wedding date, but another moment where two very different royal realities become impossible to ignore. Got something to say about this? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's get into it. If this breakdown made you see things differently, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Tap that like button and share this with someone who needs to hear it.